Hi guys, I hope you all are well and have recovered from the disappointing result Chelsea got from the game against Qarabağ in Baku. I chose to leave my match reaction this late because I didn't want to come on here and start cursing out and making use of some unacceptable words because I'm not going to lie and I kid you not that I am still very livid. I tried to sleep it off and I've woken up and I am still so furious at the shambolic performances that the team dropped today. I'm really livid and I'm sure that quite a lot of you feel the same way. We're in Baku, supposed to steamroll Qarabağ. Instead, we walk away with a 2-2 draw. A 2-2 draw against a team that have not had gotten a point from an English club before in this competition. I don't know about you guys, but to me that's really unacceptable. Before the game, I looked at that game and in my mind, and I'm sure as hell that the same a lot of you thought that that was a sure 3 point against Qarabağ. And then Maresca comes out after the game and he says we tried to rotate. When we win, nobody mentions that. But when we don't, everyone is focused on that. Yeah, we're focused on that. How about you garner the rest of the team and the rest of the coaching staff and then lock yourself in a room and then give yourself or talk to yourself, because Chelsea is not a team that should be in the middle. It's not a middle table team. There is a reason why Chelsea is Chelsea, and there was a reason why Chelsea was feared and revered in Europe as a whole. You have one good game today and then you drop a stinker in the next game. In games that you're supposed to be winning without having to do so much. Man, what's going on? When are we going to have this mentality that we are not a middle table team? I understand that the strategy and structure is different from what it used to be, but it's still Chelsea. Why do we have to go through roller coasters every time? One good game, and then we drop a stinker. One good game, and then we drop another stinker. Against teams like Qarabağ, against Sunderland, against Wolves that we almost gave up the lead in the EFL Cup. Why? So many rotations, and it's one of the things that keeps crippling the team. How about to have a stable backline and spine? What would be the worst case scenario if Achiempong and Tosin started rather than Tosin and Hato pairing at centre back and then with Cucurella? How about Hato play from left back and then you have Achiempong and Tosin and either Gusto or Reece James playing in the right position? Why overcomplicate things all the time? How about we try not to invert in games that doesn't even require inverting? Man, and this is me that I've just woken up. Imagine coming on here yesterday. I'm going to be blowing off. It's crazy, man. It decides to come up with a lineup: Sanchez in goal, Reece James at right back, Tosin and Hato at the centre back pairing with Cucurella and the left back, Romeo Lavia and Santos at the midfield base with Joao Pedro playing as a 10, Esteval on the right, and Jamie Gittens on the left with Tyreek George. And on the bench we have what's the point of having McGew in the bench, Liam Delap in the bench? What's the point? Two out and out strikers. What happens or what would go wrong if you start a proper nine? Okay, let's say you do not want to start Liam Delap and you don't want to run the risk of injury. Okay, having just gotten him back from injury, you do not want to risk Delap. How about you go with McGew? What would be the worst case scenario if McGew had started the game rather than Tyreek George? Does Tyreek George have something on Maresca that no one knows about? Because it's baffling at the way he trusts Tyreek George more than an out-and-out striker. Someone please help me make sense. Help me make it make sense because it doesn't make any sense to me. It's okay if you want to play a fluid front three, a flexible front three. But come on, against Qarabağ, come on. And Hato kept almost gave me a heart attack. I mean, what was that? What kind of pass? Are you scared to kick the ball or touch the ball? Is the ball biting all of a sudden? And Tosin cannot turn he cannot recover when they caught him. It's very difficult. Like it's so difficult for him to. Is he so stiff down there? Then Qarabağ started playing. They played a front foot game. No longer scared, seeing how nervy the two centre backs were. They kept on, they smelt blood, especially from Hato. And they kept going at that. They kept attacking Hato. Because for some reason he was just shaky all through the game. And this is someone who boasts over 100 appearances in his days at Ajax. It was just so uncomfortable. I was in the first 4 minutes. You could see that Hato and Tosin, there was just something about them. They just did not look comfortable. Probably because they were just playing together, I just do not have an answer to that. Nervy moment upon nervy moment after the other. What is it? I mean, I ask again, what would happen if we have the same team that played against Tottenham played Qarabağ in the first half, and then Maresca make a change or two in the second half? I mean, other teams are doing it. Arsenal does it. Arsenal played the same lineup that played against what team did Arsenal play against in the weekend? I think it was Burnley. Okay, and the same team started against played in the Champions League. Even though Gyökeres is injured now, but it's. And then you can make substitution afterwards when you see that you have the game in the bag. Why over rotate so much rotation, exposing the young players instead of shielding them? Chelsea scored through Esteval Willian in the 16th minute, which was nice, and then you think that okay, fine, Chelsea's starting to calm the game and the nerves are starting to calm down. Then Hato gets beaten. The equalizer follows. He's out-muzzled. Not just because... It wasn't just out-muzzled. It's because he couldn't even touch the ball. Like he was scared to pass the ball. Or maybe he was scared to overhit the pass. Man, just touch the ball. Indecision. He was nervy, and Tosin is somewhere else. In the fourth minute, Romeo Lavia is injured again. I don't even know what to say as regards. Can we just send him to somewhere else? I really do not know at this point. Because we were just starting to praise the fact that Chelsea are managing Romeo Lavia and the same way they've managed Reece James and done beautifully well with the management of Reece James, how they've managed Reece James. And then we think that we're starting to see similar patterns with Romeo Lavia, and this happens in the fourth minute. Is his hamstring made of cheese? Or what's weaker than cheese? From the midfield to down to the back line, they just looked so uncomfortable. Santos was decent, but what are we going to say? The injury probably disrupted the whole plan, and especially the midfield. Then Hato goes on to commit another handball. Penalty is given. Chelsea is down, trailing by 1 goal. And this is Qarabağ we're talking about here. It's not even a mid-table Premier League side. It's Qarabağ. I bet my last dollar if Qarabağ comes to the Premier League, they will not be anywhere close to the top team, or let's say even the middle table team. They will get a whooping upon whooping. This is Qarabağ, man. And then you make before the game, they came out and in the press conference, they said they've watched Chelsea, this, that, and it would make them look like they're one serious team. And that's because Chelsea gave them this. Why do we always have to let teams off the hook? A win that should have been sorted out by the end of the first half, and then in the second half you make substitutions and rest players that needs resting. If you want to protect players, okay, how about you don't start Reece James, you start Gusto? How about you start Enzo Fernandez and then replace him with Andre Santos? How about you start Moises Caicedo and then, man, tinkering. It's no longer making any more sense. And then let's talk about Gittens on the left. His decision making today was shocking. I don't know what he was thinking. He just kept losing the ball. The decision was poor, zero control. He had zero control of the ball. I just do not know what he was just doing today, what he was on about today. Joao Pedro playing the number 10 position. Decent at times, but he just holds on to the ball way too long. And I've noticed this with Joao Pedro. He hangs on to the ball too long, and then it ends up killing attacks where we have an opportunity to attack. Why do you have to... You're not Cole Palmer, man. If it works for Cole Palmer, it's not working for you. How about you recognize that and do something? Do the basic. Keep killing attack that are waiting and to capitalize on open space. Man. And then in the second half, he makes changes. He brings on Garnacho, Delap, Enzo Fernandez. Good. You cannot keep assuming that plan A will dominate everything. When plan A fails, do we have a plan B and plan C? Plan B and plan C should be ready where plan A fails. Tyreek George started as a 9 despite Delap and McGew being fit. Why? The overtinkering is baffling. And when the younger McGew comes on instead, you question the planning, because what's the point of starting Tyreek George when you have McGee and Liam Delap fully fit but on the bench? What is the end goal? What would be the worst case scenario if the reverse was the case? I mean, does Tyreek George, I'm asking again, have something on him? Because it's not. Anyway, Chelsea drew level through Garnacho, and we nearly lost the game in stoppage time, and it was just a very close shave. Who did well? Esteval William. He took his goal, had good energy, and sometimes Esteval needs to learn to release the ball. It's not about him; it's about the whole team. And I'm not gonna slag him off because he's still very young. Mistakes like this or decisions like this are expected from someone of Esteval Williams' age. He should be looking up to players and learning from them. And then we put him on and from the game, and I expect he should be starting, and I'm happy he's starting. Okay, but he needs to learn to release the ball as well and not be too selfish. It shouldn't be about him. We had the same problem with Noni Madueke, and that's one of the reasons why I think Chelsea had to let him go. Hato was so bad today. Tosin Adarabioyo is supposed to be the leader, but man looks like he needs someone to lead him. I don't want to see Tosin, at least for now. I don't want to see him anywhere the starting lineup because each time he plays, it seems to be the weak link. And it was just a bad day at the office pairing Tosin and Hato together. Gittens just looked completely lost and out of ideas. Where you should cut back, where you should shoot, like he just did not have any control of the ball. The defense overall just looked shaky. The draw here yesterday was just not it for me. It kills momentum. It is a momentum killer. What kills me the most is that we beat Liverpool and we beat Tottenham, and then we fumbled against Sunderland. We nearly fumbled against Wolves, and then we fumbled again in the Champions League. Games where we're supposed to be killing off, we tend to let them walk. We tend to let them off the hook. I don't know what Maresca expects. Is he expecting to be lauded for drawing the game, for nearly losing the game against Qarabağ that I've never gotten any point against any English side until yesterday? People will focus on the fact that you're over tinkering, you're over complicating things. How about you learn not to invert in certain games? How about you just do the basic? How about you allow your left back and your right back bomb forward and combine with the wingers ahead of them? How about you learn to play an out-and-out striker rather than allowing Tyreek George start from the beginning, and then you want to change stuff? How about you start first and then you change second? We roll out youth and experiment against a side we should be beating to pops. I'm like, do we have two coaches in the team where one makes the correct works on top teams like top matches like Chelsea versus Tottenham, Chelsea versus Liverpool, and then we have another coach that set up the team for teams like this? It's really baffling. We need to be consistent. The level of inconsistency is jaw-dropping. I need clarity. I'm sure a lot of fans now need clarity. What's going on? For the love of God, man, stop reinventing the wheel each match. Like, stop the heavy rotation. It's too much. It's not computing anymore. We are Champions League participant now. We should act like one. We continue like this, no amount of youth is going to save us. The squad is supposed to be ready. Man, I'm furious, man. I'm still furious. But I'll keep backing the lads because love is unconditional. Okay, just fix up. Let me know what you guys think about everything that I've said. What do you drop your comments and opinion or thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video. And man, I'll be able to give you guys my match preview tomorrow. And I think I still have something else to talk about because there are some news that have been popping up yesterday before the game that I've not been privy or able to talk about. Probably I'll address them later today. That will be towards the close of today, and I'll be able to give you my match preview for the game against Wolves on Saturday. Till we meet again, it's Chelsea first, rivals next. Peace.